Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 34 of Daily Flip. If you are new to this channel or if this is the first time you've seen one of our Daily Flip videos, this is essentially a rundown of my day, kind of an over-the-shoulder look at what the car flipping business is like. So I'm going to give you a rundown of what's been going on. We're going to walk outside and look at a few things, but it's been a little while since I made one of these videos because I've been on vacation for the last week. Monday of last week we left for Pennsylvania. We have some friends in Amish country right outside of Lancaster that are actually Amish. They, no power, beard, all that good stuff. So we go up and visit them every now and then. There's some folks that my grandparents met 30-some years ago and just kind of have established a relationship with the younger son of that family. So went up there, stopped in DC on the way up there. My son's been learning about Washington DC and everything that entails, the monuments, the White House. So we went up there, let him take a look at that, walked through with our 3 kids, and then left out Monday, Monday evening is when we got actually into Pennsylvania. So we're there with some of my family. We visited, actually got to drive an Amish person's car, which I had done in the past, but it's something that a lot of people probably can't say they've done. Amish are allowed to have a car if it's approved by the bishop of the area they're in, and they can have it for a business. So they had one, they couldn't drive it. We went out to eat with them and they couldn't all fit in our car. So I got to drive an Amish person in their car, which I thought was cool. It was a 2000 something Chevy 2500 pickup truck for those of you that are curious. Otherwise, everything here has just kind of been sitting other than my mechanic working last week. We actually just did a redesign of thecarflip.com. So if you head over there, last week while I was gone, Yannick, our computer guy, video guy slash catch-all, he does a little bit of everything. He actually redid our homepage, so it's a lot easier to access the things on the website, so you can check that out. That was going on last week, just trying to fill in some gaps of what happened while I was gone. This Jeep Liberty here, we put in new transmission lines coming from the cooler to the actual transmission, as well as took care of a brake shoe problem on this left rear side over here. Otherwise, this is a job we've had going on today. We put a starter on this one, as well as did an oil change. We've got a windshield going in this one tomorrow. Apparently we have some sort of an accident going on behind me. I'm hearing horns and we've got sirens and lights over here. I don't know if that truck ran into the van or I don't know. Always something exciting going on around here, seems like. This is a Ford Fusion that we were finishing up actually last week as I was heading out. We were waiting on this piece to come in, which it did come in. I showed it in episode 33, but this piece right here is in, the piece that covers this, and then we're waiting on the paint to come in so we can actually match the color of that piece of plastic to this. Otherwise, it's good to go, detailed, everything's good, runs and drives well. It's 2015, so it should be a pretty easy seller, hopefully. Otherwise, we're gonna walk around the back. We have been doing a little bit of cleaning inside today. We're making room actually for a tire changer and a tire balancer. Just the amount of stuff we do, it'd be handy to have that on site. So we just ordered one today. That was a good, I don't know, I think it was like $1,450 or it was under $1,500 for both. I'll let you know how those work out if you're looking to get a low cost set for yourself. Otherwise, we've got the engine over here going in hopefully this week on our 2008 Wrangler. We've got a few projects left in the back. We got rid of our big key rack over here. It wasn't doing us much good because we don't do that many cars. I'm gonna run inside and show you a follow-up to a vehicle I have mentioned inside. You're gonna hear the radio blaring. That's because we're actually putting in speakers right now on this Chevy HHR. If you ever get a Chevy, especially an HHR, and you have no sound coming out the speakers, maybe you just have a little bit coming out the tweeters. Turn this one down here. Maybe you have a little bit of sound coming out the tweeters and no other sound. Shut my microwave. A lot of times it's the actual speakers. They'll short out and not allow the sound to actually work in the vehicle. So you'll just get sound of the tweeters, a really high pitch. So this is actually a customer job. He came in telling me that his speakers weren't working. I knew exactly what it was because we'd had this problem with some of our vehicles. So we're changing those out for him. It's a good retail job for us. This here is a 2010 Chevrolet Traverse. We mentioned some last week. I mentioned it last week. We were having an engine problem, trying to get it approved through a warranty company. That's the engine here. This is the transmission here. This would sit beside this in the cradle. This is our front end rack and pinion. We've got the steering the knuckles over here, the CV joints right here. Rotors, calipers are hanging somewhere over there. So this is everything set to the side, and inside our engine compartment right now there is nothing. It's completely empty, completely bare. We had to pull this engine completely out, because a customer that had a warranty wanted us to file the claim. When we did, we actually had to verify with pictures proving what our problem was. If you look right here, let's see if I can show this on with our camera. These are some of the bearings here and here out of the engine. I think this is cylinders 3 and 4 if I'm not mistaken. There's actually another one completely lodged up and it will not come out. So we had a bearing failure which caused this engine to go bad. So I should have approval tomorrow to get a engine ordered. They should cover the cost of the engine. Partial on the labor. When you actually do run a dealership, you are able to keep those type of repairs inside. So the benefit for our customer on that is if they were to have taken this to any retail garage and they were going to honor the warranty for them on that, they would have had to have paid for everything we did here. They would have had to have paid for the engine diag, which is a good $500-600 at least, to actually get to the culprit of the problem. I'm going to be able to cover that for them and also cover some of the fluids and things that the warranty doesn't cover. So that's a job. Hopefully by the end of this week, maybe mid of next, we'll have that up and running with a new engine or a remanufactured or a used engine, depending on what they approve there. But otherwise, that's all that's been going on here while I've been gone. Played a lot of catch up today on paperwork. So we're taking care of a lot of bills and all that fun stuff. Had to file an extension for my taxes today because I never seem to get those done on time. So for our state and federal taxes, got those mailed off today so I can do those. I think I have till October 15th or something like that. So we'll get that done later. Otherwise, tomorrow we'll be filming some more videos, I think, for the course that we're going to be relaunching here in the next, I haven't set an exact date, I would say a few weeks, so keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, we're going to be recording episode number, I believe it would be 4 of the Car Flip Show podcast. If you haven't checked out the podcast, it's completely free. It's for you, so you don't have to sit in front of, if you watch at this point on YouTube right now, that's a decent time investment that you've taken to watch this video to see what's going on. The podcast is where you can listen and nothing is video based. So there is actually a YouTube version. If you're on YouTube right now, you can click over to our videos on our channel and you're gonna see actually episodes 0, 1, 2, and 3. The first like 10, 15 seconds is gonna be black because it's gonna be the intro, me telling you the show and this is episode whatever. And then the video will come in, it's just me talking in front of my microphone. But you can actually get that where you can play it on your iPhone or your Google device using Stitcher. If you're on the iPhone, it's gonna be using the iTunes podcast app. But it's a way that we can provide more value for you guys without taking up the time of you having to sit in front of your phone. So we're gonna keep making these videos that we can show you things, but the podcast is more info based. So it's me answering questions. That being said, if you have a question I can answer on the podcast, post it below. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, put it in the comments, direct message me. You can email me directly if you want to. It's justin@thecarflip.com. Send me your podcast question. Make sure you put in their podcast question and I'll put it in the queue to be answered on the show. Otherwise, if you're not subscribed to this channel, I would love for you to do so I can share more information about car flipping with you. We also post videos about auto repairs, quick fixes, sharing different products that I use that are helpful for me. Otherwise, if you haven't checked out the podcast, that's where I would go. Episode 0, which is kind of the about the show, and then 1, 2, and 3 are up this coming Friday, which I think we're gonna call them Car Flip Fridays. We're gonna post a new episode every single Friday. I would love to answer your question. If you've watched to this point in the show, you're amazing. Thanks so much for being a part of the Car Flip, and I look forward to seeing you in episode number 35.